Girls of Reddit, what are some hints you gave to a crush which flew right over their head? The more obvious, the better. I was pursuing him hard. He was making me dinner at his house and we are chatting. He makes a joke about the hoops he'd have to jump through to get a classy woman like me to sleep with him. I respond with, it wouldn't take all of that for you to get me in your bed, as I flirtatiously grin at him and roll my eyes towards his bedroom. He laughs and responds with, so what do you like on your salad? Thankfully I didn't give up on that dork and now we are happily living together in the mountains. Hey, computer store guy. The best response to hey, let me have your number so we can study at my place sometime is not to roll your eyes and say oh yeah, because you're so much smarter than me. I don't need help. I'm fine. Though watching your coworker silently lose his crap in the background was reward enough for that interaction. Sounds like you dodge a bullet. What a dong. I outright told him I like him. He laughed and went, okay, where are the cameras? This was one that happened to me. I'm a girl, but I might as well share it anyway. There was this guy in my class in elementary school and he told me he had a crush on a girl in our class and if I could guess who, he would tell me. I guessed every girl in my class and he said no to them all, so I eventually just assumed he was messing with me and gave up. It took me 10 years to realize that I'd forgotten to guess myself. I guess it was a little bit past crush at this point, but we were on a date and he asked me to be his girlfriend. I said, well, I don't even know what it's like to kiss you yet. He goes, oh, okay. I was like, that was your cue. An incredible blind guy. Met her in the bar. Lots of dancing together. Drinks. Her hand sitting on my thigh almost all the time as we sat. She asks me to walk her home, saying no one is home and she feels unsafe. I agree. In front of her home we stand there the moment she takes initiative and kisses me. I literally jump up because I was looking just past her face at this new Audi driving up the hill kinda half zoned out. I feel so sorry for her still. I read this whole thing as if you were literally a blind person. Then I was wondering why a blind person would stare at a car. Actual conversation between me and now ex-boyfriend. Me. I bought some new leopard print panties. I can't wait for you to see them. Him. I bought printer ink today. Dang it. Story time from my perspective. Hindsight is 20/20. At work with this girl, Kay. She comes over to my house a lot. Spends time watching TV, joking around, snacking. I think just having fun together as friends because 1. I have never been in a relationship before, about 21 at the time. 2. I was raised in a super conservative Christian home. Anyways, one day her best friend is hanging out with me and asking tons of questions about how I feel about Kay. You two are spending a lot of time together. Are you going to ask her out? Of course I respond with how we are just friends. She shouldn't worry about it. Blah blah. I am so bad at hints it's painful. Fast forward a week or so. Kay is over at my house super late and decides she isn't going home. She will just sleep at my place. I insisted on sleeping on the couch. She was having none of it. I find a compromise and sleep in pajamas for the first time in 10+ years and sleep under the blanket but not the sheet. So we are not actually touching. She gets super cuddly and I roll over and go to sleep. TL. Doctor. Girl tries to sleep with me. I assume too lazy to drive home. I said I wanna frick you. He said thanks. I kissed my now boyfriend a year before we started dating. He thought I slipped. Oops, I accidentally sucked on your face. It doesn't mean anything, though. I was part of an investigation into infidelity I can't really go into detail about, but the gist is that Jane Doe was cheating on her husband in the military with some other guy, Steve, on base. Or she was trying to. Suffice to say, the guy wasn't too bright. I mean, I met the guy, and he wasn't all there. Some say he knew and was trying to dissuade her, knowing she was married, but due to some other stuff I can't divulge, he probably didn't have a freaking clue. Sweet guy, good man, but dumb. Jane was really just trying to take advantage of his stupidity, his muscle, and getting nowhere. Reading the details in text messages and so on was hilarious. Paraphrased. I want to run barefoot through the fields with you. I grew up in Oklahoma. Those fields have cowpeas. Gross LOL. I can see my reflection in your eyes. It's the glasses. Run away with me. Take me into your arms. I have guard duty, my CO would have my ass. I want that ass. No, my CO is always telling me my ass is his. Haha. Have you ever wondered what true love is? Ever want to experience romance and deep desire longing in winds of destiny? No. I am so lonely. I want movies when I am lonely. They got a theater on base. Think it's showing Titanic and Goonies. I want to be your Rose to your Jack. My name is Steve. What do you think when you look up at the stars? I am outside. I want you. I want you so bad. I know how that is. I want a good burger, but the ones they have here on base, the grill is only open until 2000 and it's like 2300. OMG, I want a burger so bad. What are you doing texting on duty? What are you doing now texting on the pot? What are you doing after duty? My CO caught me texting. Oh, Steve. I said I really care about you. He said cool. He didn't get it. I said no, I really care about you. Like more than I care about most other people. He said oh. Yeah, I like you too. We are now happily married. I find myself wondering when he will figure that out too. Snapchats with cleavage. Suru much cleavage. Not a girl but back in high school I was very close to this girl who was in my friend group. Me and her did everything together. Like go to the movies without the others in the group. Go on lunch dates. She'd sleep over. We were basically a couple. I say basically because we did all this, but I wasn't dating her or ever tried because I really thought she wasn't into me. But I mean, this girl literally would tell me things like I would be happy if you were my first time, and she actually got naked in front of me one day. I was just an extremely dense kid who assumed she was like this with all guys. On a happier note, I did end up dating her once I got to college and we're still together now. Poor girl was probably so frustrated with you by the time you got the hint. She must really like you to have put up with that. Haha. I'm the guy whose head it went over after my first real date ever, though at the time I wasn't sure if it was a date. When I was 19 at the movies, I took her home. I offered to walk her to her door like a sir. When we're up there she tells me I didn't have to do that, and I reply with something like, well, sometimes I like to pull out the old school traditional moves. She turns away from the key in her door, takes a slight step towards me, and says, well, do you know any more of those traditional moves? I freaking bow, tip my freaking hat, and freaking say some corny crap like I had a lovely time tonight. Madam, I didn't realize what I'd missed until I was halfway home and I scared the people beside me at the light because I was screaming at the top of my lungs and pounding the dashboard. Telling that story still makes me mad at myself all these years later. My whole body is twisted into a knot of pure cringe. This is from the other side of it. A girl had asked me to come help her study. Mind you, we were in 2 different majors. She kept asking me for a week and I finally said I'd come over at such and such time. Well, I get to her place. She's in a sports bra and spandex shorts in the living room. Her excuse was that she was exercising by doing P90, not a hint of sweat. I think nothing of it. She shows me around the house and eventually leads me up to her bedroom and told me numerous times her roommates were not home. I still don't get what she's going for. I ask if we are going to study and she proceeds to show me stuff in her room and asks if I was good at anatomy. Then her roommates show up. It all went over my head until one night at a bar, in her inebriated state, angrily yelled that she liked me and that I was an idiot for not noticing. When I was in high school, I would try to hold the guy I liked hand, put myself under his arm, and have him pretend to be my boyfriend when other guys that were crushing on me came near. I would jump on him when I hugged him, and I would lean on him and touch him as much as I could. For years the sucker thought he was friendzoned. For years I thought he friendzoned me. Please tell me you're together now. My serotonin needs it. I'm a guy. I was 23ish at the time, I think. I was super into this girl. We were best friends, both virgins. She was super into me, but my clueless ass had no idea. One night, we were sitting in a parking lot in my car talking about fricking, which we did surprisingly often. She asked me a hypothetical. What would you do if? And then she proceeded to describe our surroundings and the situation almost exactly, and she said she wanted to frick you right there. My fricking dumbass answered the question and then continued the conversation like IT was all good. We would always hang out after classes on our own and I'd rest my head against his chest or lap, depending on whatever was comfiest. When we'd watch movies, I'd play with his hair a lot. I even kissed him on the cheek once. He had no idea. Bought him fancy chocolate on Valentine's Day. He just said thanks, ate some, and walked away. A friend told me she had a crush on a girl but didn't know if she was straight and couldn't figure out how to raise the subject. I gave her some mostly joking suggestions. I was the girl. It went so far over my head that I actually got jealous of the mystery girl. She's my girlfriend now and is still laughing about the fact that I was jealous of myself. Not a girl, but one time this girl who I knew had a crush on me somehow got my number and called me. She told me she liked me. I hung up the phone. You've been stopped by the bread cat. Like this video too or he'll eat all your bread. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check out another video. Or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.